Almost 10 years ago at the World Cup in Brazil, we witnessed Germany's best trio of midfielders, Sami Khedira, Mesut Özil, and Toni Kroos. The first two have retired, but Toni Kroos will end his football career at the peak of his form, having played in the Champions League final against Dortmund and in the home Euro 2024. His partnership with Luka Modrić at Real Madrid has become legendary, winning 21 trophies during his time at the club. But how did a footballer of incredible talent who was deemed not world-class and was disrespectfully treated by his home club Bayern Munich become a legend of Real Madrid and world football, and why is his nickname Garçom? Kroos was born on January 4, 1990 in Greifswald, East Germany. The town itself does not have major football clubs or academies, but 100 kilometers away is the city of Rostock, which hosts an important club for the region, Hansa Rostock, where Toni's father worked and became his son's first football coach. Both had talent, but Toni proved to be more hardworking and persistent. He understood that he needed to seek another academy to advance his career, striving for a higher level. After 4 years at Hansa, he caught the attention of Bayern Munich, who eventually invited him to their academy, fulfilling his dream as a fan of the club. He immediately became a key player for the junior team, scoring his first goal in his debut match against Kaiserslautern. In 2007, he also excelled at the highest level in South Korea at the U17 World Cup, scoring 5 goals and winning the Golden Ball as the tournament's best player. In September 2007, he made his debut for Bayern's first team against Energy Cottbus, coming on as a substitute and providing 2 assists in 20 minutes on the pitch. He scored his first goal in the UEFA Cup against Red Star Belgrade, also making a crucial assist. Ottmar Hitzfeld highly valued young Toni and sought the optimal position for him on the field, initially placing him on the left flank of the midfield to hide his errors. However, Toni performed best in central midfield, making almost no mistakes, and he knew his strength was in the center. His role model was not a German player, but a Frenchman, Johan Miku, who had a brief stint at Werder Bremen. In terms of style, he was similar to Zidane, but because he played in Germany and wasn't a highly publicized player, many people don't know about him. However, for Toni Kroos, he is a legend. His second season in professional football didn't go as well as the first for several reasons. There was strong competition in the squad and a lack of trust in young players from the new club manager, Jurgen Klinsmann. As a result, at the beginning of 2009, he went on an 18-month loan to Bayer Leverkusen, where he began to progress rapidly, especially after Jupp Heynckes joined the club in the summer of that year and gave playing time to many talented players. In the first 10 matches, he scored 5 goals and provided 5 assists. The team played excellently until March 2010, holding first place in the league, but then they hit a rough patch and ultimately finished 4th. After that season, Toni Kroos had to decide whether to stay in Leverkusen, where he was guaranteed a place in the squad, or return to Bayern, where the competition for a spot was even tougher than usual. Toni decided to fight for a place in the squad, signing a new contract, but as he himself said, he regretted it 10 minutes later as no one in the club's management was happy about his return, except for Louis van Gaal, who appreciated the player's versatility and hard work. Under Van Gaal, Toni secured a spot in the starting lineup by the end of 2010, but an injury sidelined him for 2 months, requiring him to fight for his place again. In April 2011, Van Gaal was sacked, and that summer, Jupp Heynckes, already familiar with Toni Kroos, took over and gave the young midfielder a place in the starting lineup for the new season. Although he played more frequently, the season was mediocre by Bayern standards, with no trophies won and a loss to Chelsea in the Champions League final at their own stadium. However, this seemed to be what Munich needed, as the 2012-13 season ended with a victorious treble. Toni had an excellent season, but he watched the final matches from the stands due to an injury. However, 2014 would become a key year for him and the German national team in general. Toni Kroos became a key player for the team that won the 2014 World Cup in Brazil, where he provided 4 assists and scored 2 goals, including in the legendary match against Brazil, which ended 1-7 in favor of the German team. In one interview, he explained his contribution to the team's victory by calling himself Garçom, or the waiter in English, because he frequently delivered crucial passes to his team's forwards. This wasn't surprising, as he was recognized as the most valuable player of the tournament, backed by statistics, and the team's victory was the cherry on top. However, after such success, he had to return to Bayern, a club he had wanted to leave since spring. He was very close to transferring to Manchester United for £25 million, but when Louis van Gaal took over, the transfer fell through. Kroos wanted to earn more, but the club management, represented by Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, did not appreciate Kroos and claimed that he was not a world-class player and did not deserve to earn more than €10 million a year. These words infuriated the midfielder, and he demanded a transfer to any team just to leave Bayern. Eventually, he was signed by Real Madrid for €25 million, with a salary of €6.5 million, which was less than he wanted, but it was more important for him to prove Bayern's management wrong and demonstrate that he was a world-class player. Florentino Perez assured him that he would be valued as both a person and a player at Los Blancos, which was very important to Kroos. Since then, Kroos Kroos has said that it was the best decision of his life. At Real Madrid, he made his debut under Carlo Ancelotti, who immediately placed him in central midfield, where he occasionally played with Sami Khedira, Isco, and Luka Modrić. Real Madrid at that time was filled with galactic stars like Gareth Bale, Karim Benzema, James Rodriguez, Sergio Ramos, and Iker Casillas. Many would have been overwhelmed in such a team, but Kroos immediately fit in and began to show a phenomenal level of play. Despite Real Madrid not winning La Liga and losing the Champions League semi-final to Juventus that season, Kroos proved to Perez, Ancelotti, and the fans that his signing was the right decision. In his debut season, he played 55 matches, scored 2 goals, and provided 14 assists. Even under new coaches Rafa Benitez and later Zinedine Zidane, he never gave them any reason to doubt his abilities, always playing consistently and helping the club win the Champions League, where he notably assisted Sergio Ramos. With Real, he won the Champions League 4 times, with a total of 5 titles in this tournament. Kroos's most significant achievement is his consistency and irreplaceability at the Madrid club, as well as his professionalism and desire to improve his game, which he has demonstrated for 10 years. Despite the club's rejuvenation process, Kroos continues to show his high football intelligence and consistent performance in midfield in all competitions, and his brilliant assist in the semi-final against Bayern further confirms his skill and why he is aptly called the waiter. Despite the fact that the German is ending his illustrious career, he is also thinking about the future beyond it. In 2023, he invested money in the Berlin-based startup service Duke for short-term car rentals. Prior to this, he invested his money in Green Monkey, a company that makes environmentally friendly phone film and accessories. However, thanks to his investments, sales have increased significantly. In addition to this, he has his own real estate company for the development and rental of properties where he personally invested in all processes. Like many successful people, he also has a charitable foundation through which he helps seriously ill children along with Adidas. But he won't stray far from football either, as he has his own football academy where he personally records instructional videos and analyzes matches with young footballers. So far, he has most of his camps in Germany, but he will expand to Spain since he will keep living there after his retirement. Toni Kroos personally embodies German football to me in the way we're used to seeing and associating with it in the modern days: high class, stability over many years, and hard work. It's a pity that the career of such a footballer is coming to an end, but the fact that he will end his career with such a legacy definitely makes him a football legend. We will see if he manages to clinch 2 last titles in his final days as a professional footballer, and who knows, maybe he will return as a manager or follow in the footsteps of his former Leverkusen teammate Simon Rolfes and become a sporting director. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would like to know which match involving Toni Kroos stands out to you the most, and why. Share your favorite moments in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check out my other videos, as shown on your screen, such as Leverkusen players who made the club unbeatable and the rise of Andriy Lunin. My name is Ole, love this game, I'll see you next time.